Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. Now, we're continuing on with the faith series, and I'm going to read James chapter 2, verses 15 to 18. If a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and be filled," and yet do not give them what is necessary for their body, what use is that? Even so, faith, if it has no works, is dead, being by itself. But someone may well say, "You have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without the works, and I will show you my faith by my works." What James is saying is our faith is proven by the works that we do. Now, while works does not save us, works is evidence that we believe. What we do reflects what we believe. So if you truly believe in God and all that He is and all that He says, you will do His works. Now, I'm not talking about works like in going to church, or putting money in the offering plate, or even carrying a Bible. While part of that may be an outward expression of what we believe, it's not necessarily evidence that we believe anything. There are plenty of people who go to church and give money and have a Bible, but they don't truly believe in God. They have it because they're expected to have it. Now, I'm talking about a whole different thing. In Matthew chapter 23, Jesus condemns the Pharisees for doing this very thing. They had all the outward things down. They were putting long prayers in the marketplaces. They were giving large amounts of money. They were doing what the law said. And everyone oohed and awed and said, "Look how holy and righteous these people are." But Jesus says on the inside, you're like whitewashed tombs. You look pretty on the outside, but you're nothing but dead on the inside. And that's what James is talking about. Faith without works is dead faith. Your faith means nothing if you don't do any works of faith. In a modern day equivalent, it's like someone coming to you and saying, "Well, I don't have money to pay my rent. I can't afford food. I don't have any food. My car's broken down and I can't fix it." And you say, well, I'll pray for you. And then you do nothing to help them. That's the equivalent. You say you have faith in God, and God tells us that we are to be loving, compassionate, caring people, and we are to help whenever we can. And if you take all the time and just say, "I'll pray for you," but don't actually help, then you are not living what you believe. Your works are not proving your faith because you don't have any works. Now, yes, prayer is a very important thing, and we should certainly pray for those people. But if we have the means to help, we should be helping. And that is proof of what we believe, because that's what God does for us. He helps us. We go to Him and He doesn't ignore us. He provides for us. He gives us what we need. And sometimes He will use us to help provide for the needs of others. Now, you say, "Well, I'll pray for you." Well, this person's already been praying, and maybe God wants to use you to answer that prayer. We need to think along those lines. Not just say we have faith, and not just say we'll pray, but actually do something. We need to do God's will, because doing God's will is part of the works of faith. Now, you can read all that and investigate that for yourselves through His Word. But there are other ways, too, that we prove our faith with our works. Our works is not just about fulfilling needs and doing God's will. It's about using our spiritual gifts. He gifted each one of us who belong to Him with a spiritual gift. You can read about them in the 1 Corinthians and some other books that Paul wrote. And discover what yours is and start using it. Maybe you have the gift to teach. Maybe you have the gift to help. Maybe you have a gift of administration. And if you're not using any of those gifts, then you're not proving your faith with your works. Now, another important thing we need to do is check our motives. We want to make sure our hearts are pure when we're doing the works of faith, because we can do it for ourselves, just like the Pharisees. The Pharisees weren't doing their works out of faith. They were doing their works to get fame. Now, why are you doing what you do? Are you doing it for God's glory or for your own? We need to work, because if we don't do the works of faith, then we truly don't have the faith that we say we have. If If we believe God is all powerful but don't trust Him, then what good is our faith? If we say God is a loving, providing God, but we don't do anything to help provide, not that God needs us, but He uses us and He wants us to do the work because He called us to do the work. He said, I want you to trust me that I will provide, but are you going to allow me to use you to provide for others? So take some time and say, how can I prove my faith with my works? What works do I need to do? Ask God what He wants from you. Read His Word, be in prayer, and start doing. This has been 5 Minute Ministries. I'll see you next time.